seen the Lake Powell shoreline like this.
It's lower than we've ever seen with the water. It's pretty crazy.
What you know about camping down by the D? Mood's dinghy has a gasoline motor. When the shores recede, it gets a bit hotter. I feel like an overlander in the water. What do you know about a rooftop tent on a Jeep? When the lake goes dry, you can see the shore recede. When the kayak's inflated, get the paddles in motion. I feel like an overlander in the ocean. They said that I'm cool, but I know that's just not true. I believe in BTEC. They believe in ATRAC. I'll admit I'm dumb, but I sure do have some fun. They don't really know I'm mental. The truth is, I'm a little special. I'm chilling out in a drought. No, the rain wasn't pouring down. Dried up earth was all around. X mode was kinda down. Gaia tells us which way to turn. High learning curve, but gotta learn. No cell that uses GPS. Never get lost in even USSF. Not bad, JonDZ. You're a dork. But anyways, what kind of animals did you see out there? Did you find any dinosaurs? No, sorry, Johnny Rawl. We looked, but we did not find any dinosaurs. In this episode, we adventure 130 miles in southern Utah. We started off of Highway 89, filled up our fuel tanks at Big Water, and then proceeded on our long adventure. One objective is to go back to Alstrom Point, and the reason I'm going back is because I want to take my wife out here. I felt so guilty she didn't get to enjoy the beauty. But then we want to take the trip a bit further and possibly hit up the Grand Bench, and then drive up to the Devil's Garden via Hole in the Wall Road. But before we do all that, we're taking Crosby Canyon Road over to a secret beach. Alright, this place might not exactly be a secret beach. It's called Warm Creek Bay. That is just the general vicinity. I'm not going to give you exact coordinates. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I like to give warnings. Warnings that could possibly save your life or save you from becoming stranded in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of soft sand out here and you could possibly get stuck, so I recommend you don't go out here alone because you never know when you're just going to find yourself stuck in sand or stuck in mud. We actually ran into a little bit of a situation. Alright, let's see what's up, because it looks like it might be pretty steep. I'm not sure. No, it's actually not too bad. Never mind. Wait a minute, there's a big old deep hole. Wait, one second.
Give all you got. On passenger now, John?
Don't go that way.
Okay.
Man, that's crazy.
Am I good? No? Okay. I don't think. Okay, I can't turn? Carefully? So after my second attempt, I wasn't paying attention and backing down. I should have turned more passenger and found myself kind of in a ditch. And that's why you adventure with friends. My friend Basil has a winch and he's going to pull me up.
Straighten the wheel a little bit, John. Just a little. Yeah, perfect. Just keep it like that. Keep it like that. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so here my friend Mohammed is trying to guide me down so that I could try to drive up. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that as an overlander, I'm not about conquering obstacles. I actually wanted to just drive down because I thought it was the most sensible thing to do. However, I did tell everyone that I was at least going to try to drive up. I didn't see it happening. Starting from mid-hill, trying to drive up just isn't really easy.
Yeah. So try to tilt your wheels and go forward. You don't think so? Yeah. Straighten your wheels. Straighten your wheels. Yeah. Passenger, driver. Keep going. You got it, man. Woo! Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Just some issues. I got stuck, and then I got winched up high enough so that I could climb up that, which is, I'm actually surprised I was able to get to the top. But once I got to the top, of course, the rear differential overheated because it's a lot of slipped wheels, and we're going pretty uphill. Like, this is a canyon. It's just as steep as this side.
Oh, the lockers? Yeah. I've never done it either.
Going up this right here. So I got pulled up. Now that I was out of harm's way, it was time to attend to my friend Lewis. He said that he got an oil light. He checked under his Lexus GX and found fluid leaking. He was pretty livid because he recently had his vehicle serviced before this trip. I actually volunteered to drive to town to pick up a bunch of oil. So here's just another reason why you should never adventure out alone. We had two issues back to back where we needed help. About an hour after we figured out that it actually wasn't leaking oil and instead it was a leaky strut, we determined that the adventures would continue. The reason why the oil light came on was because the Lexus GX was parked at a tilt. It didn't make any sense for us to all try to drive up that steep sandy hill, so we drove around. I actually scouted out and found an easier route to the beach. Here's Nick and Nancy and their 2-inch lifted Subaru Ascent with BFG KO2s. Here's my childhood friend, Constantine. I haven't seen this guy since I was 9 years old. We used to go to church together. His brothers actually found me on YouTube and sent me messages on Instagram. And so glad they did. This was an awesome trip, and it was good to see my old friend again. In the Lexus GX are my friends Lewis and Haley. Their Lexus is stock with highway terrain tires.
Right now what are we doing?
You guys want to go for a cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing right now?
I'll take one kayak on the right, one kayak on the left, you know.
Hey Moods, what kind of activity are we doing?
What's that?
What kind of activity are we doing?
kind of activity. I
Uh-huh.
don't know, we can just go exploring. We'll say hi to those guys over there.
Are we overlanding, overwatering?
Waterlanding.
All of the above.
Yeah, let's do it. You guys want to tie in?
I already have Haley tied in.
Okay.
You know what? We should just like grab onto the side of Mood's boat.
Yeah.
Here, we're gonna connect to your boat.
All right.
You can untie it.
No, we're good. You can stay connected to me, and I'm gonna actually latch on to Mood's. Like, I'm just gonna grab onto the rope that he has.
All right.
There we go. All right, grab on, latch onto these D-rings.
Give me this again.
Wait, one second. Wait, we just need a. There we go. There we go. We're good. This is hilarious.
This is so cool.
This is exactly what I envisioned.
Awesome.
This was what I dreamt of last night. Now we can get loose on the other side.
Fell off twice last week. Fell off the board twice.
Can we maneuver? What's going to be behind the next corner?
Made it.
Good morning, everybody. So here we have the Dirt Comp Trail Swing tire carrier. You can see that it's actually holding a bunch of gear, and it just swings out of the way so I could access the tailgate. Here's bed. This is a full-size mattress. So here's the plan. I don't want to break down the entire thing. I'm actually just going to leave this rear area kind of open. So you'll just see that I brought up the back seats, and then I'm just gonna close that. That's just gonna stay like that this entire trip, because tonight I don't want to have to set up that all over again.
For the first semester, so
Maybe you are.
All right, so here's the beauty of the trail swing, or any kind of tire carrier that has a hitch receiver built into the swing out, is you just take this whole thing and it just swings out of the way. Let me go close the hatch first.
Why is it so expensive? When you take a picture, you see the quality, you can zoom in, and it looks like you can see the quality, the force of it. Yeah, you can feel that.
this is almost 50 grams. Yeah, so this is for the big.
There it goes. because we are off-roading, I'm going to tilt this upwards. Tilt it up like so. I'm going to insert the pin. It's a little wet over here too. So on this trip, we have 6 mid-sized vehicles, 4 four-wheel drives and 2 all-wheel drives. We're out here to tackle the same terrain, so let's see how we do. Here's the gatekeeper to Alstrom Point. I noticed that it did get worse since last time we were here, about a month ago. This is my Honda Passport that's 3.5 inch lifted with 2.5 inch taller tires. I'm running 32s. Here's Lewis in his stock Lexus GX 460. Keep in mind, we are going to be taking different lines, so pay attention to that. Lewis comes in with momentum, but as he gets closer to the obstacle, he slows it down. So I'd say right here we're going about the same momentum. I'm spinning my tires, I'm crossed up on my rear axle. Lewis just took a hit right there. I don't know if this is correct, but the internet says that a Lexus GX 460 has 8.1 inches of ground clearance. From my vantage point, I can't see the rock ramp to my right, so I'm just trying to drive up this shelf. The midsize Hondas have an aggressive single-speed transmission similar to a Jeep Renegade and Compass Trailhawk. I think it'll surprise a lot of people to know that the Volkswagen Atlas and Tiguan are geared more aggressively than the Ford Bronco Sport. But the Bronco Sport does have a rear twin-clutch differential just like the Honda and the Volvo XC90, which increases off-road capability. Next up is the grand destination is Grand Cherokee and Nick and Nancy in their Subaru Ascent. Both vehicles go at it with a good amount of momentum, and the Grand Cherokee is just driving up that shelf, and the Subaru Ascent took it wide over to the right. That was a good line, and pay attention to that Subaru Ascent because that's going to be the same powertrain and gearing that's going to be in the Outback Wilderness. Stay tuned for next episode to see him tackle a really steep climb. And now it's a built Jeep Wrangler JL and a stock 5th gen Toyota 4Runner with a rooftop tent, but it has highway terrains, and that Jeep just just murdered the trail. And here we see the 4Runner just taking it easy. He actually drives the 80 series Land Cruiser. This is his sister's car. What up, Dindy? At some point, the alternate route might have been easier, but now it's really rutted. It's even more rutted than a month ago. I would I would say these ruts are pretty severe. This side-by-side comparison will show you how much a good line will make. Actually, Mohammed on the left is intentionally driving into the ruts, and that will give you a visual of how deep these ruts really are. That's a Jeep Grand Cherokee WK1 with a solid rear axle, and according to him, he says it's actually locked, triple locked. We all know the Jeep Wrangler is going to slay this, but I attempted this only because I walked the obstacle. I saw my line and I said, you know what, I'm going to have minimal axle crossing if I go up this way, and that's exactly what I did. I did not really use momentum, I just did steady throttle and I followed my line. Now it's time to continue on. From this point, it's about 2 miles until we reach Alstrom Point. The road is bumpy from here on out. I wouldn't consider it that technical, but for all-wheel drive, I would say moderate difficulty. At some points, you will lose the road. I recommend having a GPS navigator like GAIA GPS, or maybe even Google Maps.
And it's, super wide and, probably could just squeeze by.
So there we go, mission accomplished. I took my wife to Alstrom Point. We pretended to be birds. The wife tried to throw me down the cliff, but she was unsuccessful. That cliff was a bit scary. It's about a 300-foot sheer drop-off, similar to what you see in the background. From here, we take our adventure over to the Grand Bench. But that's another chapter, another story. If you don't want to miss out, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it. It makes the YouTube algorithm gods happy. It makes my cats happy. It makes my wife happy. No, just kidding. She doesn't actually watch my channel. But it would make me happy. And hopefully I make you happy. Hopefully we're all just happy. So anyways, stay tuned for next week. I'll finish the story of our trip to southern Utah and adventuring 130 miles. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun on your adventures. Before I end this episode, I want to give a big thanks to Lewis and Haley for providing drone footage, and to everyone else for providing phone and camera footage. From left to right, thank you, Constantine, Vasil and his daughter, again, Lewis and Haley, Mohammed, Nick, and Nancy. Thank you so much. Oh, and I can't forget my wife. She actually helped shoot some footage as well. Thank you so much, babe.